Hello guys, let's take a look at the criminal system in Elite Dangerous Horizons and why it's really not a big deal to get a fine or a bounty. I'll try to explain the system as best as I can, and we'll take a look at some of the situations where you might pick up a bounty or a fine and what is the difference between those two types of punishment. So here we're doing an interdiction on someone who's not wanted, and that's a 300 credits fine. Here we open fire on someone who is not wanted in this system, and we get a 400 credits bounty for that and wanted status. So when the ship finally blows up, we add 6,000 credits to our bounty. This particular target here was part of an assassination mission, so you might pick up bounties from doing bulletin board missions like assassination or smuggling. Here we try to dock without requesting permission first. So we're trespassing in the docking area, and we get a fine for that. You can also get a fine for firing your weapons in the no-fire zone near stations, or by bumping into other ships near the docking area if you're going too fast. So in an effort to try and explain this completely illogical system of fines and bounties, I created this image here featuring custom artwork depicting David Braben and the iconic Cobra spaceship. Alright, so there are two kinds of punishments that you might incur. The first one is the fine, and the second one is the bounty. And the bounty can take two forms. But first let's discuss the fine. You will not have wanted status when you get a fine. Receiving a fine for a minor offense, that might be smuggling or shooting in a no-fire zone, or trying to dock without requesting docking permission, will not result in wanted status. And you need to pay off the fine before the timer expires, or the fine will turn into an active bounty and you will get wanted status. You can pay off a fine immediately. You just need to go to a station that is owned by the minor faction that issued the fine. Secondly, there are bounties, and bounties can be either active or dormant. If you have an active bounty, then you are wanted in that system by that minor faction, and the bounty will also show up on kill warrant scans. You will be killed on sight by the police in the system where the bounty incurred. A bounty can become dormant, and that results in the bounty not giving you wanted status, and the bounty not showing up on kill warrant scans, and the bounty becomes dormant if you die since you incurred the bounty. So let's say you got a bounty in system A, and then you went to system B and you died for some reason, and then the bounty from system A would become dormant. All bounties, both active and dormant, have a timer, and when the timer expires they become a legacy fine. And a legacy fine you can pay off immediately. You cannot pay off a bounty before it becomes a legacy fine. To pay off a legacy fine, you'll go to a station that is owned by the minor faction that issued the fine and pay it off there. If you do not pay it off, it doesn't have any repercussions, except that if you respawn at a station that is owned by that minor faction, the legacy fine will be added to the rebuy cost of your ship. All bounties, no matter if they are active or dormant, will always end up in the end as a legacy fine. To get rid of an active bounty, so it immediately becomes a legacy fine, you can head to the system where you got it and get scanned by the police or an NPC that will claim the bounty by blowing you up, and that will immediately convert the bounty to a legacy fine. You can do this in a Sidewinder. If you have a lot of bounties from different systems and you don't actually want to go to those systems, you can just undock in a Sidewinder and you can self-destruct the Sidewinder, and all of the bounties will become dormant. And when the timer expires, they'll become legacy fines. If you have a dormant bounty and you go back to the system where it was incurred and you get scanned by the police, then the dormant bounty will become active again and the timer will be reset. All bounty timers will also be reset if you commit a new bounty crime in that same system. So that's how this system works. So here we are seen undocking in a Sidewinder. I will take a shot at this police officer here. And you can see that we have a 100 credit fine. In the same system. So there we go. We just took a shot at him and now we incurred a 400 credit bounty. And the police promptly blew us up. So in the ship destroyed overview here, we can see that they added a minus 400 credit fine to the rebuy cost of the ship because I respawned at the station where I incurred the legacy fine. So now the bounty and the fine is gone. When we look in transactions, and you will see your active and dormant bounties here, as well as fines, but not legacy fines. Legacy fines you will see in contacts in the local security office. That's also the same place where you pay off all of your fines. And you can self-destruct your ship in functions. Just scroll down and there's a self-destruct option, so you can blow yourself up and make all of your bounties dormant. Alright guys, that's all for this video. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything, or if anything is unclear. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.